evening, everypony, and welcome to Commentary as Magic Stream on today's Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big Cheese.
Cat and
I've been awake since 2 a.m. yesterday.
Wait. Not 2 a.m. today.
No, 2 a.m. today, which is yesterday by most people's counts.
Okay. Fair enough. I was going to say, dude, you're well past... You're like 36 hours in at that point. It's more than that.
And give me some of that Panera charged lemonade and I'll be fine.
Can't do that anymore. It's illegal.
Trash. I hate this place. I'm moving.
Bye. I'm also moving. But before I move,
for
we're
different
going to talk about some cards.
This is fine. You've been awake for like the period that I haven't really been lucid. Anyway.
Hey, look, everyone's moving. Bugle's moving too.
I'm sitting.
That's right. That's right. We're all going to the secret CCG clubhouse.
Where new generation mains are hanging out.
Exactly.
Well, so now that we know all of them, we think, right?
Yeah. For those of you who paid attention...
I paid attention.
I was talking to the people in chat. I know you were paying attention.
Yeah, I was there.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Nah, that was the other grandpas.
How many grandpas? I think I'm losing my mind here. All right.
I can keep this going longer than you can.
I know you can. That's the scary part. Can't believe Pip is best new man. Hithrock will have words for you. Prison Light says, come to Winnie City. Okay, cool. So we got some people here in chat. We got people more lucid than us. They can do the stream.
Profit.
Amazing.
It'll be perfect. Now, we have, as of the live or recorded gameplay video from last week, revealed all 6 mains for New Generation. We had previously seen 5 of them, counting Meticulous Talk's stream reveal of Sunny. And we had, prior to that, revealed the other 4. But now that we know them, and now that the question of whether or not Sprout gets a main, the answer is no, but he gets other cool cards that we'll talk about in a minute, has been answered, we're left with one other question, which is, okay, we have these mains, what do we do with them? The simple answer, no Fluttershy. No Fluttershy. We have wannabe Fluttershy. It's basically Fluttershy version 2.0.
If you squint really hard, he kind of looks like Fluttershy.
Did Fluttershy have a mortgage? I don't remember. She did have that cottage.
She just outright owned her empire of critters.
Yeah, the new version is not an upgrade over the previous version.
Fluttershy does not care who you send. She's not paying her taxes.
Well,
Iron Will tried.
Well, Fluttershy would get along very well with our first main for today, then. How's that for a transition?
That sounds like
Are we starting with it?
No.
Izzy.
We're starting with
Izzy,
who also does not like paying taxes.
No, she pays her taxes. She just does a lot of tax fraud.
All right. So, while this was kind of an abrupt jump in here, what we're going to be doing today is taking a look at 6 example decks for the newly revealed main 6. And there's some news spoilers in here for sure. And obviously, all this is playtest, stuff is subject to change, blah, 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 all that. Okay, cool, great, here we go.
Hi, new friend.
Hi, new friend. So,
this is a thing. Oh no, this is your deck. I'm just saying, this is definitely a thing that this deck is.
This is an experience to play. If you liked playing Shock Troops, last meta, which was Princess Cadence Orange, relying on a lot of exhausting and readying and those sorts of shenanigans. That was a fun deck. It didn't really have the acceleration to be able to keep up with the faster Cadence Blue list or with, Big Bug, who was big. What can you do? Unfortunate. It's fine. Izzy's going to take another shot at it.
Can I do? We can rotate the meta about it.
Yeah, that certainly happens when many of those cards are, illegal. Then we can try new things. So we've got some similar pieces to what existed previously, but we're really trying to take advantage of Izzy's boosted ability here. Being able to take a friend or resource from your discard pile and shuffle it into the top 5 cards of your deck, meaning that you're very likely to be able to find it in just a few draws. Apart from that, it's just synergies everywhere. We've got Buffagren, who, if you have Buffagren and you have entry, is enough for you to flip Izzy by itself. That's a great start. We've got Diamond Tiara and Featherbangs and Minuet and Pipsqueak and all these other sources of additional card draw, sometimes repeatable, sometimes, one shot, but a lot of it's card filtering as well. The new Featherbangs can get pretty big. And given that both Featherbangs and Minuet really want you to be discarding cards for value, normally you're kind of maintaining card disadvantage by doing this. Minuet gives you a little bit more. Izzy says, I don't care, I'll get one of them back. I don't know if we've talked about all the new cards in here, but it's probably worth looking at a couple of them here. Sprout, who does not currently have a subtitle, is just fantastic synergy with any card or with any deck that likes to get cards in its discard pile. Because as an additional cost to play the card, you can banish any number of cards from your discard pile. And for every card you banish this way, you pay 1 AT less to play the card. If you've played Magic before, you may have seen the Delve keyword. That is basically this mechanically. So a 6-cost 4-power friend is pretty poor. A 0-cost 4-power friend, on the other hand, is pretty good. We got Cherry Berries in here, which are nice, repeatable point acceleration, right? We've got Midnight Snack, which had the playtest name of Kirby B, which is a fun one. Rocktorit and Pinkie Pie Still Partying are in here, both of which can be brought back with Izzy late game when you actually need that burst of points at the end. I think there's 3 main interesting cards to look at here that we had not previously shown. One of which is this orange event called Good Cop, Bad Cop, which is probably one of my favorite cards in the set right now because I like LOL Random. And that's what this card does. 1 cost, 2 rec, 3 power, main phase. Each player draws the bottom 3 cards of their deck, then discards 3 random cards. Will you discard what you want? Maybe. Will your opponent discard what they need? Maybe. But you cheat because you play Pinky Sense.
As you
We've
do.
also, as you do, right? We've also got Earth Pony Crystal, which, people were asking about the crystals and whether or not they would have an impact or a presence within the set.
Yeah, I can't
Earth Pony
scroll down,
Crystal.
but yeah.
Earth Pony Crystal is a 1-cost unique artifact that you play to your home that says, exhaust this card at main phase timing to put an Earth Pony friend from your discard pile into your hand. If you have a magic counter on Earth Pony Crystal, though, you can pay 3 action tokens and put that friend directly into play instead. Alright. It's not super useful for the boosted side. Or for the boosted effect with this deck. It can get Pinkie Pie, Everything is Icing into play. That's not bad.
That's highly concerning, in fact.
For everything else, though, it's actually no more cost efficient, excluding Sprout, right? Featherbangs is 3 cost, and Cherry Berry and Mod Pie and Mudbriar are 2 costs. So, like, you're not actually saving a lot of AT that way. And you do still have to find a way to put a magic counter on Earth Pony Crystal. And we don't have a lot of magic restored cards in here. We've got one problem, and that's about it. That problem, by the way, has also changed. So I don't think we've updated Playtest Ponyhead with that yet. That's okay.
No, the art here is several weeks out of date, as are the names.
The last thing that I want to highlight is one of the more interesting ultra rares from this set. And that is the colorless event, which we have pegged as Magic Eternal. There you go. 2 cost, 7 power, immediate speed, put a magic counter on one of your cards. If this card would enter your discard pile from anywhere, you may banish it instead. If you do, at the end of the turn, put this card into its owner's hand.
Repeatable event.
It is a repeatable event. It's not the most efficient way to get magic counters. It's okay if you want to keep pouring 2 AT onto it, and it is one of the few ways you can get them at immediate speed, so you can do some tricky things with it. However, there's a line break between those 2 bits of text. The second ability happens no matter how Magic Eternal gets put into your discard pile. So if you're discarding it, or if you're milling it, or if you're basically doing anything that would result in that card getting into your discard pile, you can put it back in your hand at the end of the turn. Kind of similar to how Follow My Lead used to work.
Hey, look,
And-
there's a Pinky Sense in this deck.
There sure is a Pinky Sense in this deck. There's also a lot of cards that care about discarding, like Featherbangs. Again, a big part of what we're doing here is trying to capitalize on like the draw and discard effects, or discard and draw effects, to make them more advantageous card-wise. The new orange event, right? Draw 3 cards, discard 3 at random. Oh, I discarded some Magic Eternals. That's okay. I'll put them back in my hand at the end of the turn, and then I can discard them to Featherbangs next turn and put them back in my hand at the end of the turn. It is just a deck of synergy. You got Disruption, you got your aggro, your point acceleration. Izzy will absolutely be capable of getting you through your deck and bringing back either Still Partying or Rock to it once your deck is getting thinned out so you can close out the game a little bit faster. But this thing is just a ride to play. And I highly recommend anyone who liked that sort of pink-orange synergy playstyle, give something like this a shot. All right, I'll shut up now. I've done my done my squeeing.
Yes, because the next deck was, like, I don't think I've actually seen this one before, but I believe this would be titled "That Was Too Many Syllables. Apologize."
Yeah.
So
Is
let's
that Pinky?
no Pinky. That's Misty.
Next
Oh.
is Troublemaker Fun.
That was
So
too
this
many
is a fun deck.
This
Too-
looks much more friendly
too many
for
syllables.
one person.
Too much complication. I'm gonna put Troublemakers down, and then I'm gonna push their face in.
With
It's-
heart.
And score extra points while I do.
And also this cutie mark that I found. You're not the boss of me, Opaline. It's not just a phase, Mom.
It's your troublemaker phase. It is just a phase.
Oh, the fanfics write
Amazing.
themselves sometimes.
Okay, so yes, Misty Troublemaker Farm. It's got a bunch of the usual suspects down in the corner.
Some of those aren't usual. Some of those are new.
So I don't think
those-
we've shown off Misty outside of the recorded game.
Misty's been spoiled in the Discord.
Okay.
the full art's been shown. Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, don't push transition. That's bad. Yeah. No, there's these two dorks. So these are new. What's going on with this? So wait a minute. These are both new cards and they're both epics, right?
That seems pretty good. 2 epics.
One is even a villain.
One is a villain.
Barely.
She
With
proudly
Aoizotl
sings
stats.
that she's a villain.
She thinks that she's a villain, and that's what counts. Because Diamond Tiara had mopped the floor with her.
Oh, playing's actually fun.
Let's use this.
If an opponent would put one or more counters on one of their characters, put those counters on this card instead, unless an opponent pays 180. So you have somebody that really likes magic counters.
Yeah, I think that's the current wording.
That is.
It is.
Or someone who really likes power counters. Hey, did you just discard a card with that Feather Bangs from the previous deck for the first time that turn? Would you like that power counter on Feather Bangs? Pay for it.
Ouch. And then there's this other one over here. Which, that has an effect. You know what was a cool card? Catajack.
You know what we lost?
Nothing of value.
This is much
Ooh.
less.
Catajack.
This is much less destructive than Catajack was.
This
it?
is this
But
is
it's still pretty
more-
good.
This is
It-
pretty.
This is... You have 3 things left.
I mean, yeah, but Catajack left you with 1 thing left.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, if you didn't have any resources or troublemakers, you can now keep 3 friends versus 1.
This is a different kind of bang.
Yeah, it's pretty impactful.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying Catajack was stupid.
It was also a
Catajack-
lot cheaper than Catajack.
Yes. 180 with a 1-turn delay.
And then you can
It
beat
is-
it up.
It is worth noting there are 15 epic troublemakers in this deck. The very first attempt at a farm list post-core rotation, and we're not even running all of the epic troublemakers that we could. Flashbeat Queen is not in here. So because Sprouticus Maximus and Opaline are both coming in this set, I'm fairly confident farm players are not going to have that rough acclimation period that they normally do in terms of not having enough troublemakers to fight.
Yeah.
We'll talk about their friend pool here in a moment.
I mean, there's not 21 epics, but it's pretty good. It's reasonable.
There's a
You also
So-
do have a little bit of card filtering, right? Or extra draw-ish?
Yeah. Because you got Consolation Prize, right? Which,
Yeah.
as long as Misty is involved, is going to get you at least 1 card in the face-off, which is not bad. And you got Prince Rutherford, who, because you run a fair number of troublemakers in your deck, you're probably going to be able to get a few cards that way, so that's not bad.
It's okay.
And GG, if you can flip her, right, will give you some card filtering, so that's an option.
Well, but speaking of filtering, what if we, could do something with all the extra cards that we've drawn and don't need? How about this? How about we just start putting stuff from our hand into our flip zone? Eat your heart out, Grogar.
Sounds good.
Nom
Oh,
nom.
I'm down by 5 power? 5 power exactly, huh? It would be a shame if I could just put this extra 6 power friend or troublemaker from my hand into play. Well, into the flip zone, and just win. Guess I'll just do that. Seems good.
It does seem good.
You got
No, it
Rainbow
does.
Laser, you got Wannabet. Man, there's a lot of point acceleration in here between Misty and Wannabet and all these epics. That's pretty decent.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Now the problem is,
No, there's no problems. Everything's fine.
There are
There are
problems.
10 problems.
There are 10 problems. There are 4 lights. There are no plushie dashes in here
Yep.
because plushie dash is gone.
You got beat the rush.
You
Got
do a beat the
flyby
rush.
attack.
Beat the rush and flyby attack are immediate speed movement, but they are not 3-power hasty friends.
This is true.
They drag 2 other things with them.
So,
I mean,
go ahead.
you have breaking the barrier though. It's
Eh,
significantly worse, but
yeah.
it's a thing you
Second-
can do.
Second wind is kind of the only plushie dash equivalent where equivalent is doing a lot of work there.
Yeah. And it's 2-power. It's cheap, right? It's a good card. There's nothing wrong with it.
It also readies your main. That's kind of important here.
It's not bad, right? You can also use it as like a confront trick, right? You beat up a troublemaker and then you need to get just an extra point or so. Play this ready Misty after you used her previously. Not bad. The fact that we're having to run Solar Wind and Scootaloo says a lot about the available card pool for blue farm themed friends. The hope is that with something repeatable like Consolation Prize and another face-off trick like Sheer Numbers, you'll be able to capitalize on a high enough flip average that you don't need to rely on your friends most of the time. Plus, Opaline's only 5 power, right? That's the easiest epic troublemaker we've had to beat in
A while.
I was going to say, what, since AD? No, CG? Yeah, CG.
Please describe the temperature of this time interval.
Boiling hours. AD is correct. What 5-power epic troublemaker did we... Oh, Tyrek was 5. Asterisk.
But what if you want your farming to be slightly more complicated than this?
Well,
What if you want to do a little bit of control-y things while you're farming?
Well, for that you're going to need to get airborne.
Gonna do some tricks.
There's only one Trixie.
There's a Trixie here? Oh yeah, how about
I
you?
mean, there's art.
There's a picture of Trixie.
Good enough.
this is a pile of cards.
This is kind of a pile of cards.
Yeah, but there are a pile of cards that really want face-offs to happen.
Yay, Tranquility.
I mean, you're running purple, you're running Tranquility.
Yeah. And if you're going to run purple-orange, here's a big list of cards that you're also going to run.
Yeah, there's a fair number of options here that are not the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, but look at these toys that we get here.
There are 2 cards here that I think are cards that people will probably be interested to see. One of which is that little multicolored friend next to the multicolor Garble.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Argyle?
Yeah.
Okay, so Argyle, 3 cost, 3 power, 1 rec each in orange and purple. Nothing bad has ever happened with orange and purple cards with 1 rec each. Meticulous 1. When you put a card on top of your deck, you may exhaust this card to exhaust an opposing character and remove up to 1 counter from that character. Okay. When you put a card on the bottom of your deck, you may exhaust this card to gain 1 AT. Didn't we just lose a 3-power exhaust to gain 1 AT friend in rotation?
No, she's been gone for a long time. We don't talk about that one.
No, he's not talking about that one. He's talking about Glimmer.
Rip, no Glimmer. But that's okay. Argyle's not a bad choice.
What's an
Hey.
easy way to put things on the bottom of your deck?
Flip them for a face-off?
Look at all these ways we can have face-offs in this deck.
We got epics, we got How About You, we got a couple garbles here. Speaking of garbles, we got big garble sitting there on the other side, because if there's one thing Zip likes, it's options. and your opponent not having any.
But say you flip something you actually wanted. Maybe you can play a song card to get it back.
All right, let's take a look. Walk us through this one, Ivory.
This is arguably the best song from the movie. Gonna Be My Day. 2 costs, 2 orange and purple rec 4 power song event. Main phase, draw the bottom 2 cards of your deck, then choose one. Your characters have stubborn until the end of the turn, or there is an additional confront step at your problems this turn.
Heard you like dilemmas. Not in here, but sounds like a dumb thing you could do with that.
You could run this with dilemmas.
You could. This deck, however, you're probably going to be picking the first mode. More often than not. But I can see if you want to confront twice and go for it.
It does make the Similo Duplexus style of gameplay a lot cheaper now that the event only costs 2 instead of 4, although it does only affect your problems, so you'll only get 1 at the opponent's. I think there's one other card we kind of want to highlight from here.
The entry?
The entry? Moment of inspiration? No, it's fine. I think have we talked about this one? Are you kidding? Moment's
Pretty
fine.
sure we've talked about this.
Moment's fine. We've shown it in the live gameplay. No, we need to talk about that orange friend up there, Ruby Jubilee, who has exactly 1 word on her that matters, but boy, that word matters a lot.
Sent?
No. He's talking about character.
Oh,
I have
sure.
no idea what word he's talking about.
It's character, correct. If one of your characters would be sent home from a problem, you may put a +1 power counter on that character instead.
Characters are sent home when replacing a problem.
Characters are also sent home when you lose a troublemaker face-off there.
Okay, so, Gigabrain move. Reliving history your own main.
Nailed it.
I like it. I can dig it. I can dig it. I think, can't we also do this with double take? Isn't that like in color for Zip anyway? Let me take a look here. Double take, choose one of your characters at a problem, not at that problem. Send each of those characters to the other location. So yes, you can absolutely do so, which means if you have a Ruby Jubilee and you have a double take, your character at home will be sent up to the problem, and your character at the problem can just have a +1 power counter put on them. I can dig it.
This is dumb.
Ruby Jubilee has no protection. She's not persistent. She can be frightened. She's got a big old butt. You can just make her eat pumpkins. It's fine.
You can't do that anymore, though. That card's rotating out.
I can't even cause a sudden and inconvenient amount of Trixie to occur to her.
This is true. You cannot. You can still Chaos Magic Blast her, though.
I think that's actually fairly selective here, so yeah, okay, fine, maybe.
That's okay. Oh, also we have this little purple event over there that might cough be like delayed portal effects or like purple hard removal cough.
Nah, it's fine. Nothing of import.
that's the card that they told you to not worry about.
That is the card they told you to not worry about. It's probably fine. Don't worry about it.
You know what's not fine though?
Oh, I already hate this next deck.
Whatever the heck this next deck is, I have no idea what this is.
This causes me pain to just look at. Like, this is missing. The only thing that this is missing for like maximum pain is bodyguards, and you're not allowed to have that.
I'm impressed by the amount of new cards in here, but that's
This is
about it.
almost all new. Like, half? More?
If this thing had bodyguards, I'd probably just stand up and walk away from the table and do something else for 35 minutes.
Rather than play it?
I mean, I would maybe enjoy playing this. It depends on how much of a sadist I feel like being at that point in time. Okay. Pip Pink, a version of Pip Pink. There's a lot of very rude cards you can end up running alongside Pip, and you can certainly do this in different ways. But some of these are just gross. Where do we start? I don't know. Ara, pick some. Okay, so Pip is going to work best when one of two things is happening. Your opponent is either retiring a lot of friends, or your opponent is discarding a lot of friends, right? So first off, you have to be playing against a deck where your opponent's going to have a lot of friends. If you're playing against, like, that Misty Farm we saw earlier, it's going to be a rougher time.
It has a decent number of friends.
It's got a couple. You can make do with it. It's just not going to be quite as good.
Yeah.
Because of that, the best ways that you're going to synergize with Pip are going to be either playing pink for retiring effects, or orange for discard effects, or potentially purple or yellow. Yellow can bounce a lot of things back to hand and put your opponent in excess of hand limit, and purple can move a lot of things at immediate speed to put your opponent in excess of home limit. This one goes the pink route. Pick a card, Ara. We'll get to a number of them.
I mean, my favorite one here is the new Problem, because the flavor on it is hilarious.
Go ahead, start with that one then.
No. It's more fun, because you gotta wait till it's the fully flavored version is available.
All right.
Because that's a lot more funny when it's got the flavor on it.
Do we want to showcase Small Pip?
What does this thing say? When an opponent moves a character, send that character this problem unless that opponent pays 1. 3 white, 3 not white. And
yes.
8 wild? It's an 8.
So it's kind of like movement tax.
When you say small Pip, are you referring to the 1 power friend?
I am referring to the 1 power friend, yes.
Pretty small.
Ha!
Unique.
She's short.
But she's unique, okay? 1 cost, 2 white rec, 1 white power. Showy 1, players must pay 1 AT to play cards whose play requirements include at least 1 color other than white.
That's players, not your opponent.
Right. You are subject to this too. But we are talking a 1 AT tax, but it's okay. It's just a small tax.
But here's the thing: Pip is mad because she's small.
Pip needs more followers.
That's what the Crystal Mind Cage is there for the people who refuse to follow.
Can we just call that Pip, like, comment, and subscribe?
You know
Well,
what?
why not?
Sure.
Have you not flavored that one yet? I guess you have now.
Doesn't matter, I have now. Actually, will that fit? That might not fit.
Make it fit. Shrink the text.
Alternatively, you can ring the bell for more or smash that like button. Prismlight says combined with the Titan Thorax and you're not paying anything. Okay, so it may have misspoken here. That is not pay 1 AT to play things. That is pay an extra AT to play things that have a color other than white. That is a tax effect. That is not a discount. So your opponent wants to play anything that's not mono white, that costs 1 extra AT for them to play.
Yeah, it's a darn shame. Like, comment, and subscribe. Fits perfectly.
Nice. Let's see, other things here that are especially rude. Okay, we have a new kind of photo finish effect in Posey. 3 cost, 4 rec, 3 power. Chaos, when this card is flipped, increase or decrease a troublemaker's point value by 1 until the end of the face-off. Alright, gives you an option if you flip it and you're farming to close out the game. At the start of your turn, if you control a face-up troublemaker, score a point. That works pretty well with We're Back, which can put a troublemaker into play face-up at immediate speed. That's
I thought
me.
I had finally escaped the We're Back loops.
You have escaped the We're Back loops. There's no Lord Tyrek in here. There should probably be a Lord Tyrek in here.
Why didn't you put Lord Tyrek in here?
This thing was built rapidly, but it's fine. It can be worse.
It can also get a lot better. You know, it'd
It
be
can also-
terrifying if the other like big bug who we shall not name shows up and removes the uniqueness restriction.
That would be mean.
I mean, you're only missing, what, 1 color to get into that?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh
And
look,
you're
there's
in white.
entry. There's 2 pieces of entry.
We can cheat on that.
51 card deck?
Maybe.
Couple new cards. We got that homeowner's tax. We already showed that was 0 bars. Meticulous Talk spoiled that one. We've got Curmudgeon's Cottage over here, a unique location resource that says each player's home limit is reduced by 2. Well, that's just mean. Combine that with 0 bars and you can get that home limit down 4 smaller than it would normally be. Hope your opponent doesn't have friends at home. How about that multicolor resource that's sitting there next to it? That thing looks rude.
What do they do for that?
You
I don't
need
know
to
if we
name a
have-
card just rude at some point.
We should name a card just rude at some point.
Rude.
It would be in these colors.
Yeah, I mean,
These colors.
it kind of would. Crude. Hasty resource condition, play to your home. When this card enters play or leaves play, each player retires a friend with the highest power among friends they control.
Hi Thunderlane, how you doing?
Please eat yourself. Immediate, pay 2 AT and exhaust this card to banish it. Okay, so we're not going to let Izzy do silly shenanigans by retiring this thing. That's not acceptable. It does have to banish itself. But still,
This one gets
That's-
you coming and going.
that one's pretty tempting. I think there's one more. There's a few other cards we could look at here, but we don't need to go that deep on it. It's probably worth highlighting one interaction here. So I'm playing Pip, and you have a friend at your home that I would like to take. So I play a Plurite to my home. We swap control, you have Plurite, and I have your friend. Cool. Awesome. On your turn, you retire Plurite to your home limit. Am I thinking of this right? When opponent retires... Hold on 1 second. Yep. You retire Plurite to your home limit and gain control of your original friend back. What's the trigger on Pip's boosted ability?
When an opponent discards or retires one of their friends.
Yep. So you say, cool, and pay 1 AT and exhaust Pip, and Plurite comes back into play. And you say, no, mine.
You posted cringe, you lost subscriber, I gained subscriber.
Is this the equivalent of using a viewer bot?
I like it. We'll leave some of the other ones in there for people to review the VOD. Sure, they can find some good stuff. All right, someone take the next one.
Amazing. Let's see, what do we have here? It's time
I think
to
it's Sunny.
take a look on the brighter side. This is entirely too many friends. This looks like... It's not elves, but it kind of looks like elves.
It's kinda elvesy.
You're exhausting stuff and putting power on things. That's vaguely elf-like. Oh man, now I need to play Muffin Marin Adventure with Angry Mob as a resource. That sounds hilarious.
Oops. Interact. There we go.
Speaking of resource, we should probably highlight that that Rainbow of Light down there. This is definitely a big one. 2 costs, 3 blue power, resource accessory artifact chaotic. Chaos effect. When this card is flipped, you may put it into play attached to one of your friends. If that friend isn't involved in the face-off, it becomes involved. Regular text, play on a friend. That friend has competitive 2. When you win a face-off involving that friend, score a point.
Point acceleration.
In
And
my blue?
like dragging stuff into a face-off. Also a resource with multiple types on it. Oops.
Accessory artifact chaotic. Oh yeah, you didn't.
I fixed that somewhere.
Okay, fair enough. I think we just left it as an accessory, correct?
This one I thought I had all the resources done, and then I realized I didn't have this one flavored. I don't know what this is going to end up being.
It's literally the Rainbow of Light. The physical object. It's a thing. Congratulations! The flavor is done!
You want to know what's also a thing? Twitch.
Oh, do we have to talk?
Not that Twitch. The
Do-
Angry Rabbit Twitch.
We have to talk
This
about
Twitch?
we gotta talk about the bunny.
Yeah, we're talking about the Chaotic Critter Bunny. 1 cost, no wreck, 1 power, Swift Chaos. When this card is flipped, you may put it into play at your main character's area. When you move this card to a problem, you may exhaust this card to move your main character to that problem. I like that.
It's kind of like giving your main character Swift. As long as you're willing to dedicate a friend to it. Which is not bad.
I mean, it's a 1-cost friend. That's not so bad.
1 cost Swift friend, yeah, that's... And, you know, we got 2 copies of Donut Joe Sugar Rush in here as well, so every time we exhaust one of our friends, we can put a power counter on that friend. So every time Twitch drags along Sunny, Twitch gets bigger. Every time Phyllis makes ponies scared, Phyllis gets bigger. Every time property damage blows up a barn, she gets bigger. Every time Sunny gets angry, she gets bigger.
You notice a trend yet? Things getting big. And putting rainbow hats on and scoring points.
Yeah. Where's that,
I like points.
I like 15 of them to be exact.
I'll take any number 15 or greater.
I don't want to be greedy.
Sure.
24,567,384.
That many points.
Yes.
Fair enough. Diamond Song says, no, Phyllis is not scaring us, she's preparing us. That's all right, that's fair. I think in terms of other cards here that would be fun to look at, best that multicolor event is probably worth taking a peek at because it's not complicated, but it's probably one of the purest expressions of what these colors do.
That, what do you mean this isn't complicated? This is going to end up like just completely wrecking game flow because you're going to sit there and just be like, ah, crap, now I have to do all the math. 5 power, 2 cost, 3/3 Rex, blue and orange. Immediate, choose one, frighten or exhaust a friend. And then choose one, unfrighten or ready a friend.
Ooh. That's tricky. But you get a little disruption.
Okay, but what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna exhaust the friend and then I'm gonna ready the friend.
Do you have a Donut Joe in play?
I mean,
If so,
that's the funny part, is that actually does something useful in that circumstance.
If so, you have paid 2 AT and a card to put a +1 power counter on one of your friends.
I didn't say
Good
very
job.
useful, but it does something useful. Like, actually, there's certain circumstances I could see the other dumb thing being useful, frighten and then unfrighten, which, incidentally, because it becomes a new card, means the unfrightened one is ready.
Correct.
And also has lost any counters with delayed trace effects on them, say.
All those magic counters go away.
Oh, then I'm not talking about the magic counters. We've had some annoying counters in the past.
-1 power counters.
Mm-hmm.
Say no.
Say no to counters.
What else do we have? There's a cool orange problem that's up there as well. Kind of aggressive. 2 orange, 3 not orange, 6 wreck for the opponent. Charging my attack. At the end of your turn, put a +1 power counter on this card. When this card is replaced, redistribute all counters on this card among any number of your friends.
You're gonna miss that trigger so often.
No, you won't. That is
There's-
super important. You are not missing that one.
There are power counters on your problem. You're not going to forget that. You're going to go to move the problem like you physically can't remind yourself anymore.
But are you going to remember to put them on?
You're not gonna remember to put them on, is the thing.
I mean-
It's mandatory.
Is it mandatory? Oh,
It is mandatory.
There are
It
lots
is
of
mandatory.
mandatory triggers.
You
But
are
yes, you should not-
required to
don't
do
forget
your
your triggers.
mandatory triggers.
Okay, cool.
And-
So you're gonna forget to put them on and then take a hissing.
And then put them on because it's mandatory.
How many turns has it been? Anyhow.
I mean, perfect. You already know how many counters are supposed to be there if you know how many turns it's been.
Also true.
That's gonna get so many hissings for the table.
It'll get a couple. Also, is that a problem with Magic Restored on it over there on the end?
Which
Have we
end?
not seen that
end,
yet?
Yes.
No, not that one. Other end.
We should probably make mention of
On the
that.
left, I don't think we've seen that card.
Yeah.
No, we've
It's a 3. Well, we're going to go over it anyway. It's a 3 blue, 3 wild, a 6 wild for your opponent. It does have Magic Restored, and this problem's bonus is increased by 1 for each magic counter on this card.
That is not the first problem with Magic Restored we've seen this stream, even. We just didn't talk about the other ones. So, you'll have
Yeah,
to go
but
watch
this
the
one-
VOD.
But this one means more points. That means it's more important.
Right, that other problem also got completely redesigned from the ground up because it turns out that drawing 4 cards a turn at the start of your turn is not
In an
acceptable.
Izzy deck? No, it's
Yeah.
fine.
No, that was not okay.
It's great.
Prism Light says, this is a combo deck. I am interested to hear why.
I mean, it's a really good aggro deck. I don't know if I call it combo. Maybe combo in the sense that a lot of these cards synergize really well with each other.
That could be the case. I think that's kind of the theme we're seeing with this set in general. Because there's only one main mechanic for the set, you're going to be looking for synergies wherever you can with the cards because the card pool is as small as it will be post-rotation.
Okay, so we're going
So
to
be-
take a leaf out of Silverquill's book, the one that says continuity, scratch that out, and replace it with one that says interaction.
Sure.
Well, there's a lot of Frighten in this deck, too. Phyllis frightens, Misty frightens, Flyby Attack frightens, Best of Both Worlds frightens.
I mean, it is the best of both worlds. You got your orange exhaust and your blue frighten, your orange power counters, and your blue go fast.
I just want Smolder to be big.
She is big. She's grown up in that picture.
She needs to be bigger. She needs to be Huger.
Smolder becomes the next Dragon Lord. Smolder survived with Spike somewhere.
This is my headcanon.
Woke up and immediately buggered off because she isn't all about that.
She didn't want pony ears.
Like, ew, pony's gross.
All right, I think we've got, what, one more?
One more.
Yep, Mr. DreamWorks face himself.
Oh, God, he really is.
He kind of is. Okay, look. Don't give me an excuse. I've got 4 different pictures. All of them
Save
have
it for the promo.
Hitch's mug on them.
Save it for the promo.
So many promos. Oh, boy. There are some critters here.
Hitch likes
I mean,
that.
Including
There's
the
birds of a
main.
feather here.
The main is also a critter when it's boosted, because of course it is.
It is worth noting that the song here, Fit Right In, has completely different modes now. So maybe don't worry about that one. Okay, yeah, sure. That card actually appeared in the Pip deck, but we didn't talk about it. You want to mention that one?
It's just it's the box. It's box 2.0. It's flat rate shipping. You play on an opposing character. That character can't contribute its power to face-offs. And then you can retire it to draw cards equal to that character's printed power. Hey, Thunderling, come here.
Seems good.
Why?
Or something that has a lot of +1 power counters on it.
Well, printed power.
Printed power.
Oh, it's print. Oh yeah, it is printed power.
But Thunderling is still a
same
5
thing.
power friend.
Yep. Even on a main, opposing character. Even on a main, like 3 cards isn't terrible.
You need to draw 3 cards. Sometimes you need to draw 3 cards. Ara, weren't you just sitting here talking about nasty counters that you wanted to get off of friends?
Mayhaps.
There's 3 copies of Flutter Swarm in here, and there's also 3 copies of Birds, both directly above it. That's gross.
Nothing bad will happen, I promise.
I don't believe you.
I don't care. Nothing bad will happen. Look at Fluttershy. She's all happy.
What is this? 1 cost, 2 rec, 3 power on a friend?
Marble Pie wasn't good enough.
Guess not. Chaos. While this card is flipped, players ignore all flipped cards except for those named Cloudpuff. This card can't contribute its power to face-offs. Immediate speed. Exhaust this card to put it on top of its owner's deck. That's just mean. Cloudpuff is good puff, says Anamoy. Everyone else disagrees.
This is that the comic where it's the dog sitting there going, "Whoa, that's a deep question. What does it truly mean to be good?"
Yes. Yes, it is. And it's just Cloudpuff blank expression. Oh, you know another one that we didn't show earlier? We can show Jump Scare. Yeah, there it is.
We have a 3 power, 2 cost, 2 rec Pegasus. Yes. It's hasty. When this card enters play during an opponent's turn, you may retire this card to dismiss a friend here.
You know,
This seems like a card that Ara would like.
if you pretend that instead of a Pegasus, this is a unicorn,
If you pretend something airplanes in the
night sky, yes, okay.
It looks kind of like a unicorn that can be used to give a sudden and inconvenient amount of Trixie to your opponent.
Yes, it does.
I tried.
This should be Wendy crashing into people on the beach from Make Your Mark Chapter 1.
Was she a Pegasus?
I believe so. She was flying when it happened.
Oh, that's the
That
best
would-
part, because I could just slap something that's horribly motion blurred on this and it would be good.
Perfect. While you're at it, send the screen cap to me so I can deep fry it.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Anyway,
I think it's-
at some point you're going to hear a long rant about motion blur, but that's for later.
It's probably also worth noting the Selena blues that are here that can let you draw just a ridiculous number of cards.
Especially if you've been building up your birds of a feather critters.
Oh, yeah, that could get dumb, because pay attention to what order you retire things in, because Selena goes first before all your critters.
Yes, but the trigger won't be processed until everything is retired.
Shame.
That being said,
Except for those things that mean that your critters don't count towards home limit.
correct. And we do have a few cards that do somewhat similar things. Also, Hitch just has a home limit of 5, so if you have Hitch at home and, 5 things and you retire Selena, you're drawing 6 cards. It's pretty good.
How does Sheriff hold all these cards?
With hooves.
He gives them to all his animal friends.
I mean, he gives them to his forward scouts here.
Yeah, I think that's the second 2-cost, 2-power entry critter that we've seen in this set. I think we saw that in the Sunny list as well. Huh.
I think there was a blue one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems to have a very similar ability, too. Oh well, I guess we'll have to look at that one later.
Uh-huh. 2-cost, 2-power, critter, immediate, retire this friend to look at the top 2 cards of a problem deck, then put them back in any order. When this card is put into your discard pile from play, you may pay 1 AT to put this card into its owner's hand.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, 2 for 2 on entry is, okay, but you can get some value out of it later. And if you absolutely positively need that entry and your opponent keeps throwing inconvenient amounts of Trixie at it, you can pay a little bit more and get it back. So,
like, it's not the best thing that you've ever had to deal with, but sometimes if you need the gas, just 1 token to make sure you've still got a friend.
not the worst thing in the world.
There's times I've kind of wished for that in Bluna lists where it's just like, all I really need. Beagle's just going to be like, smile, smile, smile. I'm going to be like, I knew you were going to do that. You were thinking it.
Come on, every pony.
You were certainly thinking it loudly.
All right, we saw some yellow, we saw some white, we saw some purple, orange, pink, and blue. We saw all 6 mains again, and we saw so many spoilers. We didn't even get to talk about all of them.
Some of those might even have art. Like actual art.
Well, I'm sure there will be a lot more to come, but this at least gives people a starting point of some thoughts about what to do with these mains when all their favorite defenders' block cards are gone. Suffice it to say, there's still some options. Should be an interesting core meta.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about adventure. I'm sure it's just going to be straight combo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
It's
lot of
fine.
viable strategies in core, it feels like. In new core.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with all that, we'll wrap up our discussion on this topic for today.
Yes.
We would like to give a big shout out to all our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, please consider donating, as doing so enables us to continue making content like this and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. And if you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on Slack any day, anytime.
This is growing
Fine.
less true because our sleep schedules are starting to get better. Sorry.
This
Getting
is-
old.
Yeah, we are. We may have to adjust the outro at some point.
Get off my lawn!
Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, linked just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary is Magic. I'm, as always, Grand Pause.
Big cheese.
Aracat and
Ara, please put the image on the stream.
what?
Look in Slack, put the image on the stream. There was requests for art, I gave art. Put it on stream. Do it.
Oh, boy.
Do it.
It takes so long.
That is-
No, we need it on stream.
Is this Pip?
No, it's windy. Put it on stream.
That's
Oh.
extremely deep fried. This does actually take more time than it should.
It's
annoying.
fine.
We'll wait.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm at what, 21 hours at this point? I'm good.
It's like 11 p.m. for you, right?
Yeah.
It's late.
Okay, well,
That's-
here you go, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's worse because of the image compression. Perfect.
It kind of is.
There we go. I don't even remember what card this was for, but there's the card art for that one.
That's
I believe that was jump scare.
terrifying.
You know we also have to make that the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Anyway, bye.
But
Bye.